I see. Fuck. It's like quiet here and I fucking think it's annoying. Okay. Alright. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the EJB Talk Show. Today I have a very special guest, percussionist and dancer, Kelsey Choi. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Excited to do this one with you today. What did you get up to today?
I just had a lesson with Ayun and she said I'm doing well, so I'm happy.
Nice. What did you work on with her?
I did rebonds, the hardest piece ever, but yeah, it's getting there.
Alright, but, shoot. That's okay. I'm just very tired, and we're both very tired right now.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm looking forward to doing this one. But you're currently in your third year here in history and culture. So how's that been going this year so far?
Honestly, it's okay, but yeah, I'm switching my mind to performance.
Really?
I'm yeah, but it's okay.
So what are you doing from here to take it into that and take it into performance for you?
I mean, now I'm intensive training kind of thing, practicing. I mean, not a lot, but I'm trying.
More than before. Yeah.
And, just locking myself in the room. Yeah.
But what made you want to switch, make that switch?
I mean, I feel like I don't really like history and theory anymore. No, the thing is I kind of still enjoy it, but I don't see myself doing it for my future.
Right.
Yeah.
What made you want to go into that major to begin with?
So, I am from a music family.
Mm-hmm.
You might know. So, since young, I hate practicing in front of my family. So I hated music. I hated it.
Right.
And then I went into high school. I did IB.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a lot of analysis and stuff. And then I'm I actually do still love music. And there's another way of looking at it, not performing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm yeah, I like this. So I went into uni and be okay, I'm going to be a professor.
Okay.
And stuff happened. And
right.
I'm no.
What kind of stuff would you say happened? Just more performing opportunities,
Yeah, and also I just hate readings. I can't anymore.
And you were more on that history side than theory, right? Or,
yeah.
But because I don't know how that major works. Do you have to do all of it?
It's half. You could do specialist, but I'm not doing it, so it's basically half.
So you have to do the same amount of history as theory, but you don't wish to do that. Well, you don't even wish to do any of it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it. It's just if my career depends on it, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to you in university, but I'm gonna work a bit chronologically. I'm gonna ask, what would you say is the earliest musical memory that you could recall?
Honestly, I don't actually have a lot of memory because I hated it, right? So I try to forget kind of thing.
But no early kind of sense of hearing music and being interested in it at all.
I mean, yeah, I think I started learning piano when I was 2 or 3.
And was it oh my god? That's very
my
early.
mom plays the piano, so she tried to teach me and I just play it for fun.
Right.
Yeah, and then I just continued, I guess. Yeah.
And there was no, I mean, you were 2, so I guess you didn't show any interest. There's no memory of showing interest into.
No.
So is that kind of by the time you can your earliest memory of the youngest that you were already just doing music just because you were assigned to it, essentially? Yeah. That's very interesting.
I mean,
that is very weird. Yeah, I guess there wouldn't be a real significant memory for that.
The thing is, I was forced.
Right. Yeah.
Into music.
Oh yeah. Who isn't?
The first thing I wanted to learn by myself. I told my mom I want to learn cello.
And why was that?
And it was
Was it I want to enough of the piano?
Yeah, I just feel I want to play another family of instrument and not.
So you still want to continue music, or did you want to continue music to appease your parents in a way?
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
And
so not a you wouldn't say it's a genuine interest in another instrument. It was more
I mean, back in Hong Kong, we have to learn an instrument, so
yeah,
I have to learn something, and I hate piano.
So it's
no offense to piano majors, but
well, it's for you. It's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for me.
So, So yeah, so would you say that's like the earliest interest? Like, what would you say is the earliest interest for you? Was it like when you started playing more percussion
Yeah.
stuff? When did that start?
I started percussion like grade 7.
Okay.
And I started with my own decision.
And how did that start?
So there's a percussion ensemble in my primary school. So basically, like,
Primary school?
Yeah.
Like, is that like from like
grade 1 to 6.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like-
wasn't in it.
Right.
And then there's one, and then they played Rhapsody in Blue. And I loved it. And I was
Right.
like, I love this
Was
instrument.
that
I love
marimba?
it.
Something?
Yeah, it's like an ensemble, like
Okay,
everything,
yeah.
basically. And then I'm like, I love this. And then I just asked my dad if he could teach me, and I just kind of started.
Your dad, well, he's not a percussionist. No.
He's a conductor, so kind of know percussion, but not. I mean, I played a scale with all my right hand for like a year.
Right.
So yeah, no technique.
All
but
just all your right hand.
yeah.
And like what kind of teaching was that? Like, did you like end up getting a percussion teacher, or like he was the one giving you lessons, you'd say?
Yeah, after like a year, I found a real teacher, and then
Mhm.
just continued with him for the rest of my high school.
And did you like keep loving percussion while you were doing that?
Yeah.
So when would you say is like your earliest like performance like memories, like for performance experiences, more like on like percussion for you?
I didn't really perform on percussion because I was only like a band kid.
Right.
And
Well, you're
then-
performing percussion with like an ensemble though.
Yeah,
right?
but we're not doing a lot. And then I wasn't in the band for like grade 10 to 12, so I didn't really have any performance opportunities until I'm here.
Right.
So I would say like the first percussion thing is like what, jachi? That's yeah.
Really?
That is my first percussion.
Well,
thing.
no, like I would still count like large ensemble with like a
yeah.
like concert band, but what was it like playing like in concert percussion? I mean, like concert band percussion when you were younger. Was it kind of like you were kind of forced into it also, or were you like let me play?
Kinda, because
Really?
I was in 2 wind bands.
Mhm.
One of them is like high school, and then the other one is my dad's band. So
Right.
I was like, it's kind of stressful because everyone's kind of judging you, even though they're not. You're gonna think they're judging you.
Like, was there like a constant like kind of view like, oh, you're the conductor's daughter, kind of thing?
I mean, no one really said to me, like told me that, but like
Is that what you experienced? You'd
yeah,
say?
I would always think that like I am the conductor's daughter. I should be doing good, and
Right.
then the stress is just like stopping me from doing good.
Right. And what was it like growing up with like, I mean, you wouldn't know any other way, but like growing up with parents who are both musicians, like, was there anything kind of particularly music-centric that you'd say you have above other people, like growing up? Not like in terms of ability, but just in terms of like experiences just growing up.
I mean, yeah. One funny thing is, me and my dad always play like trivia games.
Okay.
We always play like listening quizzes, and then we're just like, so guess the composer, guess the piece's name, and then when you win, you could eat or something. Yeah, we just like play that a lot, and
Right.
I guess yeah. And when we eat, we just listen to music and not watch cartoons and stuff. So I don't really
Right.
have a childhood. That's kind of sad, but
But you didn't enjoy that, or like what would you say?
I do enjoy that because
Right.
it kind of makes me unique, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I assume like they were very like supportive of just like the potential of you pursuing like a musical
Yeah.
post-secondary kind of career, but because at the same time what you were singing also, and was that something you like doing, or also like kind of
I love singing in
Really?
choir. I do love it, but because I'm only singing in choir, I'm not a soloist.
Yeah.
I can't really do anything.
and also like because I was thinking like you're already playing percussion, you're already playing stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like what made you like, were you also like supposed to join the choir just cuz, or like
I joined because of my mom, but
Right.
the thing is, I do enjoy singing in choir, so like
Right.
I won't quit because I like it.
Right. And you didn't study much with singing, or did you?
I did like professionally train for 2 years, but
that's
not
with the
my
choir.
thing.
Like, did you have a teacher?
I did have like a solo training.
Wow.
Yeah, I did, and then I did like graded exams and stuff.
And that's the culture in Hong Kong, right? Like, you guys are constantly like studying with a teacher on an instrument.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, professionally trained on every single thing.
Right. How do you feel about because I guess like by that standard, so many people around you who are studying instruments from age 6 to 18, right? And like they don't even do anything with it. Like, you kind of feel like that's like,
yeah,
like in the lightest sense of the phrasing, like a waste of time.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that because like there is so
not to knock a whole culture.
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah, like because there are a lot of people who are super talented, or,
right.
like
Oh, and it's also
many
like
of them are like
wasted
prodigies as
potential.
well. Yeah,
in that sense too.
and it's like, yeah, they're super good at piano. Like at the age of 6, they're performing and stuff, and then they just end up doing like doctors and stuff.
What do you think is like are reasons for that? Do you think they get like burnt out, or do you think they just they didn't like it in the first place? Like, what do you even think?
I think it's just a culture, because
Right.
we just thought like music majors won't make any future. Like,
right.
we won't have a good future. We won't
Right.
make money. We will be
Right.
unemployed, and
Right.
I think that will be the case. But
So what?
at least I'm enjoying it.
So what? Yeah. What kind of like shifted your perspective, or at least made you go into it with a different perspective of like not thinking like that? Was it just because your parents were like musicians that were like doing well for themselves?
Yeah.
Was it? Would you say it's like a drive that kind of, or more like it was a drive for you to just keep going?
Yeah, and plus, I like the only thing I'm good at like throughout my whole life
Was music?
was music and dance, and I
Right.
can't really choose anything else. It's just arts.
Really?
So I was like, I'm gonna do this in the future. There's no other choices.
Right. So but it's still like, it was still an interest.
It
wasn't
is,
like
it
a thing
is.
you were still forced to do when you were in high school.
No.
Like, that's good.
It's
But-
just a different perspective of music.
right.
Kinda.
So like simultaneously doing dance, like what was like growing up being a dancer? Were you forced into that also?
No,
in that
no,
sense?
no. I
So
mean,
how did that start?
kinda. So it's also common for people to start like ballet and stuff like really early on, but then people just quit after they go to school because time.
What's go to school? Is that like
primary school or mainly secondary school?
like when they go into high school they just stop? Okay.
Yeah, because time
Right.
stuff.
So you started probably like grade 1, I assume.
Again, I started at 2, but like ballet,
wow.
but I have no memory, and it was also kind of forced because I was crying outside the
Right.
dance studio. I don't want to go in because I hate stretching.
But did you like learn to like it, or what was?
Yeah, what started was like when I was 7, I started tap, and I really like it because there's no stretching, and it's fun, and it's different. No one really knows about it.
Right.
So yeah, and then I just continued, and then learning more and more dances.
So you're just simultaneously like practicing percussion and music in general, and like dancing and going to band rehearsals, going to choir rehearsals, right?
Yeah.
So like, would you consider yourself to be like simultaneously on top of all that, like a studious kind of person, or like not really? Like,
Not at all. Not at
Really?
all. I was really different.
what was like? I assume everyone around you was super.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because
Studious.
everyone's like, I am fighting for my uni life.
Yeah, fighting to go to the best university.
I need A+ or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't care. I just
Really?
yeah, I didn't care, and I also know I will never be on the top, because
Academically, I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm like, why work hard for that?
why didn't you care though? Is it because you just knew it wasn't in your best interest? Like early on, you knew that like it's not, like sciences aren't shit
Yeah.
you're gonna
I mean,
go
I'm
into.
I'm also not interested in it, so I won't want to spend time on it.
So you have like you kind of drive yourself on like interest over anything. Like if you're not interested in it, you just won't do it.
Yeah.
But that's not, from what I see, especially like, you know, because like I have Asian parents, not from China, they're from the Philippines, but like it's still having immigrant parents, their best interest in their kids is like do sciences, and sometimes they're forced into doing sciences, but like, and was that also the case for some people in China? Like their parents made them like want to become doctors.
Yeah, and also I would say my high school really focused on it, and I mean I'm really grateful.
Even the school had a bias on what you would do. After high school, really.
Because they were always like, you have to do good, and then we're fighting for like perfect scores.
Is it for the reputation of the school?
Kinda.
That's really weird.
I mean, yeah, but I'm also kind of grateful because I learned how to study. I learned how to like fight for excellence, kind of thing.
Right.
So.
In a landscape where it's like incredibly competitive there.
Yeah.
While like I grew up here, and it's like it's competitive to people who care, and not way less people care from what I experienced. You know what I mean?
It's just really different.
Yeah. So, you're doing dance, and you're playing percussion. So towards the end of your high school, like, how did you decide that you're, I asked this earlier, but like you seem to have been taking dance seriously. So like, what made the greater decision to do music over like dancing?
So the only two choices I have is dance and music, right? And then I was kind of brainwashed by my high school to think like having a better career, and dance and music seems to have a better career.
Why? Is it just because you're like, is the baseline of your reference like your parents essentially?
No, it's because for dance you kind of have to retire like
there's
30 years old, right?
Yeah.
You can't really dance anymore.
It's a physical thing.
And I'm like, and you also have to be really good to be chosen. And it's really competitive. I mean, music is also competitive, but there's a higher chance to get jobs.
Some sort of job.
Yeah, because you could teach anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But for dance, you can't really find anything, especially in Hong Kong, because people just don't care.
So what made you want to come to UFT of all places? Because you were in Hong Kong like all up until then, like.
Well, funny thing, I only applied to 2 music schools.
Okay.
Like 2 schools for music, which is UFT and Oxford, and I didn't get into Oxford.
Do they offer a performance degree there?
No, but I applied for musicology, which is the same case in here, right?
Right.
So, and I didn't get in there, so if I chose music, it's going to be here. And
right. They don't offer a theory for like theory major for first year here, do they?
No. We get into it like second year.
Why is there a reason for that?
I don't
Is
really
it like the courses
know.
you guys take are meant for you guys to be in second year to take kind of thing?
Honestly, there isn't really much in second year. It starts like third year because you have to take theory and history electives after TMU 230 or
right.
Those kind of things. So yeah.
Right. So you chose, but where else did you apply? You applied to dance programs like instead, or?
Yeah, for dance I mainly applied like UK.
Really?
It's art.
So you kind of
center.
You kind of like gravitated towards that UK.
Yeah. And it's also really common for Hong Kong people to go to UK.
How come?
Because like British colony.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
And people think UK is like the academic center for stuff. And it's a good place to study.
I don't disagree with that. That's a very fair assessment. Yeah. Very objectively, they're kind of known for that. And you only know until you see it yourself, I guess, right? But so you did you get in for those dance programs? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I got in everyone that I applied to.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was still like, so like you're saying that if you didn't get into UFT for music, it was just like it would have been dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, choosing UFT was really really, really late decision.
Really?
Because I was planning to do dance like until the last moment.
Of like confirming acceptances?
Yeah. Because I was thinking about life, and then I'm just like, do I see myself as a dancer?
Were you wrestling with that? Because like at the time you were just like really into dance, you'd say? Wow. Yeah. And it was just the last second you're like...
And again, I hate practicing. I hated practicing.
Right, hated practicing.
And I also hated performing.
Right.
And then
Why
I'm just like...
So you even still hated performing while playing the marimba, and like hated practicing.
I just hated everything about...
How come?
It's just the stress of being like a musician.
It's not... Is it like a stage fright, so like performance anxiety thing, or like... Yeah.
That will be one of the reasons, yeah.
Right.
Because, I don't know, because if I do dance solo, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm very okay with that. But if you
Really?
ask me to do percussion solo, I cannot do that.
Is it like a you thing, or you're thinking about who's in the audience and hearing you?
It's a me thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I tend that, if I'm playing anything here, and the audience I know will be people who are really into classical music, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I do stuff that isn't exactly here, I don't get like if I just play for my parents, it's just like, oh, they're not gonna hear the mistakes,
Yeah.
But like, it's just like a youth thing. Is it like the wrong notes that you're worried about, or like?
I feel like it's just I was more confident in dancing.
Interesting.
Because I was bad at percussion. I was really bad. Like, I won't practice, and then the only piece I've ever known is rain dance. Like, I've been playing it for 3 years. 3 years.
3 years on that
Grade
one.
10 to 12, the same piece.
That piece is annoying. I look back at it, because I did it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my, shut it, dude. Like,
I kind of still like it. It's classic.
It's cool in the way the hands move, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think it's really that part's really cool. But like, God, like, imagine like third year recital of me next year. I want to do it. I'm gonna do a rain dance, and I don't care what you have to say about it. That'll be terrible.
I mean, why not? You could be perfect at rain dance.
It'd be awful. Rain dance on a recital would be terrible.
Yeah.
Ask Cass. Imagine. Dude, imagine if you put rain dance on your recital this year. Wouldn't that be terrible?
You put rain dance on your recital?
What if you put your rain dance? Yeah.
See, that's iconic.
That would suck.
Can you imagine I play horrible music and then you just put rain dance at the end?
No, but so you were just like, you weren't like, how come? Because I know you said like you liked percussion, but you hated practicing. Like, how does that, something that like, how do I say it? I don't want to say make sense to you, but like how do you kind of make sense of that? You know what I mean?
I don't really know. I feel like now that you say that, I feel like I don't really like percussion.
At the
It's
time.
It's kind of like a neutral feeling. It's just...
Are you saying now or at the time?
At the time.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not focusing on school, right?
Was it like, oh, it's still the music thing to do, but I like it more than piano and cello?
Yeah.
So by comparison, it's just like, this is better and this is good.
And also, I'm taking music as electives, so I kind of still have to continue with percussion because I need a graduating recital for my high school.
Really?
I know.
But it wasn't like an arts high school. It wasn't arts high school.
It's a science school, I would say, or like...
But education there is wild.
It's weird.
It's pretty strong.
It's
Imagine.
humanities and science.
Right. I assume people come out super fucking smart and good at what they do.
That's why
there.
I'm like, I'm not going to work hard because I won't be like them.
Right.
Yeah.
But you'll be good enough, I guess. Just get decent enough grades to just not...
I mean, I graduated with a decent score, and I'm just happy with it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with chemistry. No more chemistry.
That's so weird, though. Yeah. Like, a graduating recital when you're, like, 17 is, like, the weirdest thing to me.
I mean, I played rain dance, which is why.
So, you eventually chose to come here for music. How would you describe your first year? I know that was the COVID year, but, like, inherently making the decision to go to school for music, were you, like, at the time, were you like, oh my god, I'm making a mistake? Oh my god, this is... no, that's good.
I loved it. I was like,
really?
Thank you, Kelsey Choi. Thank you for doing this. Like,
really?
Because, especially, I was online. So, if I chose dance, it's going to be online as well. So, it's like, I cannot do this.
Right.
And also, I was taking a lot of history, theory electives. And I loved them.
In first year?
Like, I don't think it's electives, or I had like one or two,
Right.
but easy stuff and fun stuff.
Right.
So I was like, I really like it. And then, yeah, my first year was just
As good as it could be for an online year, you say.
It's okay.
So, like, since you've been here, like, in person last year, how has that kind of change been? Because you were still in Hong Kong doing those online classes, but now, last year was your first year in Canada. How has that change been for the time? How would you describe that change?
I loved it more because my parents aren't here. So it's like no one's gonna judge me.
It's like liberating.
Yeah.
It's like not like parents are bad. It's just like
no,
they're not.
I love them. Like they give me like really useful suggestions.
Yeah.
But I just feel really self-conscious when I'm practicing in front of them because my dad could be in his room and then I was practicing in the living room and he's gonna come out.
You hear the mistakes.
You have a wrong note, even though he said he didn't hear me, and I'm like. Okay.
Right.
But yeah.
That was a huge part of you growing up playing percussion.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to practice at home.
But there was like nowhere else to practice.
Yeah. So that's why I did not practice.
Wow. That is interesting. Wow. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I hate practicing here because I know.
It's a different
people
hate.
Know. It's yeah. But it's still, for me, it's if it's like people hearing my wrong notes. If I play something very noticeable. Like, fuck. And they're like, yeah, you missed that one B flat. And I'm like, I know, I did. I know it. But
it's also kind of like, it's reasonable here. It's not reasonable, but like, people will understand more. It's not like my parents don't understand, but yeah, it's just different. It's just a different self-conscious, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's self-conscious as everyone here is playing percussion, but it's natural, and I think it's kind of the way that some people grow up too, you know what I mean? But, what was I gonna ask next? I was gonna say something. Like, how'd you describe, like, your performing opportunities here that you got, like, at UFT?
I really like them, and, like...
What are some that would
I'm really thankful.
Stick out to you, you'd say?
I mean, Raintree, obviously, because, like... I was not
it's
expecting that.
Not expecting what?
Like, being a soloist kind of thing. And, like, really hard solo.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it went really well for you, I'd say. Like, despite that technical difficulty, like, it was actually really good. Yeah. Like, that was a good run for you. For me, not really.
No, you guys were fine. You guys were good.
I think the highlight of Raintree would be just, like, the overall prep for it. That was intense.
I mean, even though it's not the best performance, I'm really happy. Like, we went a far.
Right.
Like, what am I saying? We came a long way, basically. Yeah.
What would you say is like kind of the defining moment of you being like, I am going to focus my post university life on performance? Is there one? Would you say?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the concerto comp of TSYO.
Right.
Like, I don't know what happened, but somehow I was like, because I wasn't competing to win, so there wasn't a lot of stress.
And you were just having fun.
Yeah.
Playing for fun.
I was really happy that, like, with that performance, competition kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm
it's kind of a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
There's an audience, right?
There's like a few, but yeah. And I'm like, I'm not competing to win, so I'm not nervous, and I just did my best, and I'm like, I'm actually really happy performing.
Really?
So I'm like,
But you kind of just noticed then, or you kind of noticed forever but neglected it? Because you're the theory major.
Right. Like, I kind of know, but I also don't think I'm confident enough.
Was it like oh, you had like, for example, like you did conversations last year, and it's just like, oh, that went very well, and I had a good time doing it, but like, I'm a theory major and I'm gonna go to Oxford, so who cares? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
And it's like, each and every performance, I get less nervous.
Right.
I think. I mean, depending on the occasion, but yeah, pretty much.
So at that moment, you're like, I've gotta like I can't stop playing. You're saying, that's sick. And what was it like preparing that concerto for you? Like, was it because you, like, what made you want to enter that in the first place? If you still, by the time you applied, you still wanted to do theory, the history route, right? But what kind of took it in you to be like, I'm gonna apply for this?
So, during the start of the year, Ayun told me to learn a concerto because I couldn't join percussion ensemble, like the conflict thing.
Yeah.
But then I made it work, but she was like, oh, you have nothing to do this year. Why not do a concerto competition? So I started learning the first movement.
Right.
And then I joined the competition, like TSYO. And then I was like, okay, I need another movement.
Yeah, you keep, I kind of just noticed that. You keep kind of taking these initiatives to have that performance-centric. You auditioned for the TSYO this year, like, you're, at that time, you're still like, no performance for me. But it's also interesting because whenever we talk, like, you always kind of bring up how Ayun's like, you should do performance, right? She gave you that kind of attitude, right? Like,
I mean, she didn't say exactly, but it's also like she was kind of preparing me for
right.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Because that's how she treat everyone, I would say. Because everyone's a performance major except me.
Yeah. Or like, none of us first years last year were in performance, and she kind of treated us all with that intensive. Like me and Alyssa were music ed, and Alyssa's still music ed, and from what I talked with Alyssa, she runs those lessons, like, she doesn't, like, I like that about Ayun, or like, there's got to be teachers like that, but like Ayun doesn't be like, oh, she's ed, I'll just give her like a bum lesson just because, like, who cares? Like, no, she cares about how we all turn out after these 4 years, which is really cool of her. But yeah, I think that's it for those questions. I'm gonna ask you my final question. You've never watched an episode, so you don't know the format. This is actually I actually wasn't really mentally prepared to do this episode today, because for the past few, everyone's like, I watched them all, I know how this is gonna go, but you have no clue, and it kind of made me nervous. I don't know why.
Why? But, I don't know anything.
I don't know. I think it made me nervous because it's like, you are not gonna know how to react, like, you're not gonna know how to respond to them. Everyone knows, and it's just like, oh shoot. And it's also like, we're very good friends. You know what I mean? So it's just like, interviewing a friend is very funny to me still. Like, I interviewed Eleanor, and we're very good friends. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you, what would you say are your personal musical goals for now till the end of the year?
For now, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna learn on my
learn more music.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to be a soloist in the future, so I'm just gonna work on my confidence, I guess, and then just learning music faster and learn more pieces in general.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, best of luck to you for that.
You too.
Yeah.
You're gonna be famous.
No. But yeah, this has been Kelsey Choi on the EJB Talk Show. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, that's it from us. Any final words for you?
No.
No.
I love your show.